For the past several years, the state of California has been experiencing a severe drought that has many people nationwide concerned. With each passing year, the drought gets worse and worse, and the people of California have been forced to change many old habits to adapt to the new water shortages. Long, hot showers every day are a luxury. Weekly car washing is no longer practiced by most, and almost no one can afford a green lawn by keeping it watered. As the drought continued to get worse, people began to search for reasons why their water supply was constantly diminishing. And after a series of small articles and blogs in 2014, a tiny nut came under fire as if it was the root of all the state's water evils. Now people have directed much of their frustration toward the farmers and their wasteful ways, instead of focusing on the bigger picture. In February 14, 2015, a small article was posted on Mother Jones with a bold-lettered title of "It Takes How Much Water to Grow an Almond?" According to the article, many of our small snack foods require gallons of water just to produce a handful of nuts or berries. One nut in particular drew the public's eye. Stated in the table as it appeared in the article, the almond requires roughly 1.1 gallons of water to grow per nut, and with the thousands of tons of almonds being produced and exported out of state, that amounted to a countless amount of water being used toward a simple snack food. This caused an uproar among common people and politicians alike. A follow-up article on Mother Jones stated in its title that the annual water cost of California's almonds was equal to the water usage of the city of Los Angeles in 3 years. Many bloggers and reporters criticized the crop, dubbing it the devil's nut. But was all this criticism really called for? What is not being said? First of all, is this gallon per nut ratio really that extreme? A gallon is a significant amount of drinking water to us, but in agricultural terms, a single gallon is tiny. Even compared to other items from the same chart, the almond's water usage is fairly low. Walnuts take as much as 5 gallons, and a head of broccoli uses almost 6. But what about other food sources that are not mentioned on the chart? Crops such as corn and wheat are used far more often and in far more places than almonds. Yet a bushel of corn requires 4,000 gallons of water, and it takes 1,000 gallons of water to grow the wheat it takes to produce a 2-pound loaf of bread. When compared to these crops which we take for granted, the water price of almonds seems small indeed. However, the water usage of plant crops, even water-needy plants such as corn and rice, is dwarfed by the amount of water needed to supply the massive herds of cattle and other animals that supply America's sizable meat and poultry demands. Beef alone requires over 6 times more water than rice, which is being submerged in water during its growing period. Maybe instead of pointing fingers at the apparent sins of agriculture, perhaps more good would be done by attempting to improve our own situation. Instead of criminalizing certain crops, we can decide how to increase California's agricultural water efficiency. Some methods to improve water efficiency are already in place. Proper irrigation scheduling will help save water by preventing the overuse of water with excessive irrigation. By planning out when and how much water to use, farmers can manage their water far better than before. Tailwater return systems are another improvement. By capturing the extra water runoff from irrigation, the water can be saved and recycled for later use. Other methods and technologies are beginning to be used as well. Many private companies, universities, and institutions are developing high-efficiency drip and pivot irrigation systems that could further help improve water usage. Water storage can also aid in water management through methods such as groundwater banks, where water is collected during the cooler months then stored underground for later use during the hotter months. In the world of agricultural water use, the almond is only moderately needy. While a gallon per nut is a significant ratio, it does not compare to the real water-needy crops that we have ignored. Water is a major issue in California, but the almond is not to blame. Rather, we need to focus on managing our own water better instead of pointing the finger at a small snack nut.